Hey, besties. Okay, so you guys really seem to like the not so very retelling video, and since I haven't gone back to play in this save since I made that video, like I haven't been sharing anything on Twitter or anything because I just haven't returned to it. I figured I can like test the waters and like play a little bit in the save for like a video and see if you guys like that. So basically we're starting off with like some makeovers because it's been like months since I've touched the save, and I've definitely gotten new CCs since then. And also I hadn't played since we got like the same face toddler bug fix, so I wanted to see what Citrine looked like actually as a toddler, because I had only ever seen the like same face toddler version of her, and she's really very cute. And when I like loaded back into game, I realized that I only just had like Citrine's nursery, like just like the crib, and that's it. And since she was a toddler, like she kind of deserved a room makeover. So that's sort of what I was doing, and I really have been enjoying decorating with like the yellows and like all the different types of yellow. So because there's kind of like a lack of like toddler space stuff, I went with more like animal themed with like a hint of like space. And since Garnet's best friend and like her baby and her husband moved out, I sort of have to like repurpose her room. That's sort of all that we get into for building. Alright, so she finally graduated, as you saw in like the retelling video. So I wanted her to get like straight into the politician career, and she starts off 4 levels ahead, which is great. Because part of the like goals for this, like the Rose generation, is to master the politician career. So that's why I chose to like have her go to university so she could get like a head start. And I signed to train up for preschool, and I'm pretty sure I signed her up for like private preschool because I think that Garnet would definitely want her to be in that. And they have like a bit of money, so I think they can afford for her to go there. She very much likes to like keep up appearances, so I really find it hard to believe that she'd like let her daughter go to like public preschool. Like, I think that she'd be very insistent on going to private preschool, and if there was like a private school option, like when she ages up to be a child, I feel like that would be it. And I'm thinking sort of like maybe trying to do that with like a school uniform, but anyway. So I was just checking on the wedding, which is really what we're focusing on in this episode, playing through the wedding, or like not wedding really, if you know like the challenge. The Rose Generation is basically like a romantic player, and basically like they have to go through I think 8 sim relationships and complete the serial romantic aspiration, and then they have to leave someone at the altar, which is what we're going to be doing in this wedding, and then they finally get married as an elder. But only as an elder. And initially I was going to invite the toddlers, but I don't think I end up inviting any except for Citrine, because I know with my wedding stories it gets kind of buggy. I don't invite any except for Citrine because it can be a bit buggy having toddlers. It can really ruin the flow of the wedding. And it just flows better without toddlers being there as like a distraction. And then I realized we had no wedding cake, but then I'm like, do we really care? Because we're not going to be here for very long, basically. Like it's almost a fake wedding at that point. To everyone except for Garnet, it's a real wedding, but like she knows that she's not going through with this. So I had Garnet, Minta, and Citrine all like travel to the like wedding venue, and then I went and added bushes because I love having bushes at wedding venues, because like you kind of need a woohoo spot at a wedding venue. So bushes are always like right there, and people can nap in them and also pee in them, so it all works out. But I had them. Oh, and I think I brought the like groom in air quotes, because like, is he really a groom? But I brought him just to like, I guess this would be like the setting up period. If we had 2 setup parties in The Sims, this would sort of be it. But really I just wanted Citrine to get to know Minta, because for her generation, one of her like challenges to like not make any other friend, I think good friends, except for the Mint Gen Sim, and she can't have any more until the Mint Gen Sim dies. And yeah, I was just like doing interactions to help them increase their relationship. And then finally the wedding was starting and Garnet was moving. But with the relationships and pregnancy overhaul mod, I had Garnet go on birth control because she's only allowed to have 1 kid, and like I refuse to have an accident baby. I mean, it'd make me happy, but like it would go very much against the challenge. So yeah, I had to prevent that from happening. And I changed them into their proper wedding attire with MCC and I just wanted to get like a good screenshot of that, because Garnet looks really nice even though she's about to do something not very nice. She still looks nice. And I was just like checking to see like if all the people showed up and like who was showing up and what kind of atrocious outfits they were wearing, and seeing like if I needed to change their outfit with MC Command Center. So I was using like the wedding activities from my wedding stories, And since it was like sunny and warm, I figured I'd use the like outdoor wedding setup instead of like the indoor one. And the indoor one of this venue was actually where her brother got married. So I figured she'd probably want something that looks a little different. So I just had like everyone take their seats, and I was a bit confused because there was a werewolf there. I was like, who is that? But then I remembered that Garnet's little sister Alara is like best friends with Lou Howell's daughter, who's obviously a werewolf. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And they're like the only two occult sims that we really know. And so then I wanted them to sort of pretend that like this was like a proper wedding. So I had Garnet's best friend, who is the maid of honor. I believe I had her walk down, but I did it in the wrong direction. So she was like walking up the aisle, but you know, you get it. The vibes were kind of there. It's really the thought that counts. So I had like everyone take their seats again because I wanted them to like actually walk down the aisle, and since I knew the proper direction this time, I selected the right thing. But like they just kept talking. I'm like, I figured I'd let them have their moment while they're still like on good terms to talk to each other, because I feel like they're really not gonna like each other very much after the wedding goes down. So I wanted to have them like exchange vows like with her mother as like the officiant. And then afterward I realized that like I don't think there's an option to leave someone at the altar with my wedding stories. Like I tried and the option just like did not appear. But it was nice for views. Like it felt right for storytelling that this would be like a big wedding that they'd throw. It's just really unfortunate that there's no like leave at the altar option if you do like a proper formal wedding ceremony. And like I kept panicking a little because I'm like, I don't want them to actually get married by accident. So I kept like pausing it and seeing if there was an option, but there wasn't. So basically I had to like cancel that wedding ceremony and then just do it from the arch and press like get married, and then there you like click and call off the wedding. And I think this is like my first time ever doing this because like my sims usually don't even get married, and they certainly don't call off marriages once they're already like locked in. But yeah, it's so dramatic. And she's like so happy. Afterward, like all of her moodlets are like so confident and happy. She doesn't even have one sad moodlet. Like she was even enjoying the vibes of the wedding. But now they're complicated. And he's heartbroken. She's not, but he is. And I feel really bad. But, you know, it's the challenge. Gotta do what you gotta do. And then I sent everyone home. And I brought Minta with us back to the house. I feel like Minta would probably be a bit confused and probably a bit concerned that like what had happened. So I figured they'd like talk about it a bit, especially since Garnet is not at all sad and in fact extremely happy about it. I feel like, you know, they'd sort of talk it through a bit as best as they could. And then like randomly a kitten was born and I was like, what? But then I remembered that Diana ran away and then came back and well, she brought along a kitten that wasn't even her like mate. It's some like random cat. And I was like, not the scandal, not the cat scandal. But yeah, and I have this like really weird glitch in my game where I have to like give all my pets last names. I usually just go into MC Command Center and then like delete the last name after they're born. But yeah, and she looks just like Diana. And I named her Jolene because I was thinking of like the song Jolene. But like not in like a literal sense, but like the cheating part, yes, it felt right that she should be named Jolene. And then I just really wanted to see toddlers and kittens interact because the interaction's like really cute. And not that you can really see much because her dress is like really poofy, but and Citrine was really sad. I'm imagining that it was about like the wedding and like her very basic knowledge of what had happened. In reality, it's about, I think, preschool and her being scared of thunderstorms. But I'd like to imagine that it was probably about that. And I just had her like working on some skills with the Panda Sama toddler toys while Garnet was taking a bath and Minta was reading books with her cute little glasses. And I was just checking to see her age because like I want to know how long Citrine has to like only befriend her. And like when she can actually like interact with people. Well, not interact, but like find a best friend her age, you know. And then I got scared because I saw that like she could take a pregnancy test and I was like, oh no. And I do believe with the mod like it can possibly like backfire and like it won't work 100% just like real life. So I was just hoping that it didn't mess up. But luckily nothing happened. And I'm so happy about that. And she has like so many traits. It's crazy. But basically, I want to change her, like, pregnancy wish through the mod to be, like, she doesn't really want kids right now, because she really doesn't, like, according to, like, the challenge rules, like, she only has one kid, so I don't think she'd be happy with having more, and she was only, like, neutral to it, like, I want her to be, like, firm in what she wants, you know, and then Minta left, so that was that. And really it was just getting them to bed after a very eventful wedding. Extremely eventful. It's really like so unique, and I've only ever played the Not So Berry challenge like one other time in my life. So like whenever I get to this part of the challenge where you have to have like when you have to have that kind of like a wedding where you're like it's dramatic and everyone's there and like you have to like leave them the altar, it's always so interesting. Yeah, and that's really what I like about playing like challenges in The Sims 4, like Lucid Legacy or Not So Berry. It like gets you out of like your normal play style for usually a long time, if you actually like complete like the whole challenge. And it like lets you explore different parts of the game that like maybe you haven't ever, or you've only done a couple times, you know. And I'm always up for like breaking out of my comfort zone with this game. That was pretty much it. Everybody went to sleep, and then I love doing these like little montage of like photos from the episode, especially because it's like moments that like maybe I haven't left in, or like just cute moments, you know. I always have a good time playing the Not So Berry challenge. Like, I would definitely recommend every simmer try it at least once. It's like always a fun time. But yeah, like let me know if you guys want more of the Not So Berry challenge, and like let me know if you liked the episode. You can also let me know by giving the video a like, you know. That'd be nice. But yeah,